Imagine a man whose life was so righteous that God chose him for an unparalleled destiny. Enoch, the seventh descendant of Adam, is taken directly to heaven without ever tasting death. But what does this enigmatic figure reveal to us? And why was his book, filled with prophecies and apocalyptic visions, excluded from the Bible? Get ready to uncover the mysteries and secrets behind one of the most influential figures of antiquity. Enoch is briefly mentioned in the book of Genesis, 5 verse 21 to 24, and in the epistle of Jude, Jude 1 verse 14 to 15, described as a righteous man who walked with God and was taken without experiencing physical death. These quick mentions hide the vast theological mystery surrounding his character and what he represents in religious tradition. The Book of Enoch, an apocryphal work bearing his name, offers a much broader and detailed view of the character. Far from being just a simple expansion of the brief biblical mention, this book presents a complex cosmogony, a rich angelic theology, and a fascinating apocalyptic prophecy that profoundly shaped subsequent religious literature, especially influencing Jewish and Christian traditions. The importance of the Book of Enoch lies in its deep influence on the formation of ancient religious thought, contributing directly to our understanding of the beliefs and fears of people of that time. It expands narrative themes found in the Bible, offering a perspective that some consider complementary to central biblical accounts. Its content includes vivid descriptions of a complex spiritual reality populated by fallen angels, giants known as Nephilim, and a celestial hierarchy, providing a rich tapestry of images and concepts that continue to intrigue scholars and enthusiasts of apocalyptic themes. Thus, Enoch occupies a prominent place in religious thought, especially in Jewish Christian texts. He represents a sacred figure of purity and justice and a bridge between mortal understanding and celestial and cosmic realities. By reading the Book of Enoch, we can delve into a rich theology, better understand spiritual hierarchies, and gain insight that reveals the complexities and hopes of ancient religious thought, the life of Enoch and his visions. While Genesis describes Enoch's righteousness and ascent to heaven briefly, the Book of Enoch significantly expands this narrative, portraying him not just as a righteous man, but as a prophet, seer, and intermediary between God and humanity. This portrayal transforms him into a figure that transcends ordinary holiness, bringing visions and revelations that he receives directly from God. In these visions, Enoch witnesses the workings of the celestial universe, divine judgments on sinful celestial beings, and the ultimate destinies of humanity. His role as an intermediary grants him a unique position, allowing access to forbidden knowledge reserved exclusively for spiritual beings, making him a figure that transcends human understanding. The Book of Enoch depicts Enoch as someone who, through profound faith and obedience, achieves an extraordinary level of spiritual intimacy. His ascent to heaven marks the pinnacle of a life dedicated to the divine, characterized by a sincere and deep quest for justice and holiness. He serves as a reference for future generations, inspiring those who aspire to a deeper relationship with God and a morally elevated life. This experience of being taken is a sign of promise and salvation, a mark that a life dedicated to faith holds value beyond earthly existence. The life and visions of Enoch carry theological depth that reflects a belief system about human interaction with the divine, including themes of rapture and justice, the role of angels, and the potential for direct communication between God and man. Enoch's character as a prophet and model of holiness resonates throughout religious history and continues to fascinate scholars and readers alike. The fall of angels and the origin of the Nephilim. Among the most impactful sections of the Book of Enoch is the narrative about the fall of the angels, known as the Watchers. According to the text, these angels were assigned to observe the earth but disobeyed divine orders by uniting with human women, giving rise to powerful and corrupt beings known as the Nephilim. This union symbolizes a severe transgression of divine order, a violation that brings corruption and chaos to the world. The Nephilim are presented as both physically and spiritually powerful creatures that bring violence and destruction to the ancient world. The fall of the angels and the creation of the Nephilim serve as a theological explanation for the origin of evil and corruption on earth. This theme is so strong that it has become an archetype in Jewish Christian tradition, profoundly influencing the narrative about the conflict between good and evil. The story of fallen angels and the Nephilim is one of the most fascinating passages in the Book of Enoch and helps shape the understanding of spiritual struggle and the consequences of divine disobedience. This view of the original sin of angels and their influence on the world also serves as a warning about the importance of divine obedience and the role of celestial beings in the cosmic order. The figure of the Nephilim, carrying traits of both the human and the divine, represents a threat that could only be contained through divine judgment. The narrative of the Book of Enoch regarding the fall of the angels and the emergence of the Nephilim not only explains the corruption of the ancient world, but also echoes in apocalyptic traditions as a foreshadowing of the final judgment. Enochian cosmology and eschatology. The Book of Enoch is a deep dive into a unique cosmology, describing in detail an organized angelic hierarchy and a structured celestial universe. It offers a vision of heaven in layers, where different angelic offices come together to fulfill specific roles in the divine plan. This cosmology not only fills narrative gaps in the Bible, but also introduces a view that has influenced angelic theology in various traditions, providing a foundation for understanding angels and their functions. The appeal of the Book of Enoch extends beyond cosmological descriptions, significantly influencing eschatological concepts as well. Predictions about the end times, with detailed judgments, the destruction of the wicked, and the salvation of the righteous, are part of Enoch's visions. The book transports us to an apocalyptic narrative where he witnesses the ultimate fate of humanity, echoing the hopes and anxieties of the ancients. This perspective contributed to the formation of eschatological views within many religious traditions, offering a vision of a future where justice and purity triumph over evil. This Enochian cosmology and eschatology shaped the understanding of celestial spheres and inspired subsequent interpretations of spiritual realities. The idea of a final judgment, presented in the Book of Enoch, became a central theme in apocalyptic literature, influencing thoughts about divine justice and the promise of salvation for those who persevere in faith. The legacy and importance of the Book of Enoch in religious thought. Although the Book of Enoch is not part of the official biblical canon, its influence on religious thought cannot be overstated. It served as a source of inspiration for biblical and extra-biblical texts, such as the Book of Daniel and the Apocalypse of John. The narrative of fallen angels and the birth of the Nephilim helped shape the understanding of the origin of evil and the conflict between divine and profane forces, reflecting a cosmic struggle that permeates religious thought to this day. Scholars and theologians recognize that the Book of Enoch had a lasting impact on the interpretations of eschatological and angelological themes in Jewish Christian traditions. This text, though apocryphal, is a window into the religious thought of the intertestamental period, which helped form the basis for central theological concepts. Its descriptions of angels and hierarchies, its visions of the future, and its focus on justice and divine judgment remain key elements for understanding the history of faith and the formation of theological principles. Did you enjoy exploring the enigmatic world of the Book of Enoch? Subscribe and hit like for more content about apocryphal texts and ancient mysteries. Share with those curious about the history of faith.